your latest project?
Yeah, that one, it's yeah, I think pretty much the latest project. I was mentoring 30 designers as part of this program. I think through about maybe five to 6 weeks around there. So through the whole 5 to 6 weeks, this process of mentoring went through a lot of designs, a lot of critics, a lot of iterations, and finally the National Gallery Singapore that runs the Light to Night Festival finally selected one of the designs. And so the student went ahead with that project, and everything was fabricated just over the weekend. So I think right now it's one of the first week of the festival. Very exciting. The work looks great. It's a different kind of satisfaction. Yeah.
How did you get into mentoring? I know like you've had some very good projects done. So is that how you got into mentoring?
Okay, yeah. So this one was, I think 2 years back, I was the one designing the artwork for the festival. And then when this year came about, I actually proposed, why not, I mentor some of my students for this project because I've done it before. I wouldn't mind doing it again. It's just that I realized that maybe someone else would learn a little bit more from it as compared to me. If I were to do it, yes, I would still learn something new. Every project is different, but I think maybe for a student's perspective, it would be pretty much quite eye-opening. And hence I propose not myself doing it, but the students actually doing it, and I'll mentor them through the process. So yeah, the gallery, the National Gallery Singapore was all right with that proposition. So I think that's how everything got started, and I'm glad it's over.
How did you feel? Like at first you were the artist himself, and then now you are mentoring not just one but 30 of them. How does it change your perspective doing doing the same thing but having different profiles?
Yeah, I think there's a certain fond feeling when this thing comes to fruition, and when you see the student actually being delighted in seeing such a work being fabricated. We're always working off our screens, looking at all the illustrations and doing it, and finally when you see it fabricated 10 meters wide and all, it's really huge. There's a certain satisfaction that comes from the student because this is their first time doing it, and that satisfaction translates to me in a certain delight. I see someone learning something for the first time, being happy, and that makes me happy.
How do you feel on the challenges in this case, like doing the work process?
Yeah, I think the challenge in such mentorships is slightly different if you were the artist yourself. If you were the artist or designer, the challenge is in the creation of the work, negotiating with stakeholders, negotiating with the fabricators, curators, co-collaborators, and everything. But as a mentor, the challenge is slightly more indirect, whereby you know how to make the work better, you know how to improve it to solve problems through certain solutions, but you don't give it directly because you want the mentee to learn through the process. And that's a different kind of challenge because it's a push and pull. You have a certain timeline, a deadline that's looming ahead. Everything needs to be done by then. And you got to hold back yourself from just doing it yourself. You want to allow the mentee or student to learn through the process. And so I think that push and pull of helping and guiding, is a kind of a challenge in this situation. But it's all good, it's not a big deal.
Will you be going into mentorship further on?
Yeah, I think happy to do it, maybe depending on what opportunities in industry comes about. But most of the time, if I'm keen to mentor and allow students to do them, but it has to be appropriate. Some projects might be a little bit too difficult for the mentorship. So probably that one I'll be happy to take it myself. But if there's any project that's suitable for students, whereby it's not too easy, not too impossible, somewhere in between, I think those projects would be suitable for mentorship, and I'll just push for that.